Welcome back to the DFS Vet Shop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. I am on the road, just wrapped up an awesome birthday weekend. It went a little longer than I guess weekends are supposed to because it was topped off by me watching my New York Football Giants beat the Cincinnati Bengals in New Jersey at the Meadowlands. It was my first home game, and man, it was an awesome experience. I had a really great time. It was a great game, and I also had a really good night with our DFS lineups. We talked about the core four from yesterday. They did very well. I was able to hit over 300 in quite a few lineups. Every lineup cashed because we stuck to that core four where we streamline our lineups. What happens a lot of times is we listen to so many different podcasts, so many different people, that we already have an idea who we like throughout the day. Once the next slate comes out and we go check the point totals and we invest our thoughts into certain games, certain players, we come out with a core of players that we just like. Any of us. If you play DFS every day, there's guys that you like going into the next day. I get it all the time on my Twitter feed. I see it. But a lot of you listen to all the different podcasts and you get moved off of those players that you liked, and you end up starting the industry plays. The plays that the names that you continuously hear on Roto Grinders, the name you hear on Roto Curves, you hear it, or all the podcasts you listen to, it take you off of those core players. So you end up rostering way outside of your player pool, and if you do win, you only won to cancel out the lineups that you lost in because you moved off of your core. Now, what I've come up with is a strategy, my core four system, where I take four guys and I base my entire DFS night off of these four guys. Then I go I listen to the podcast just like everybody else does, and I come up with two plays that I think the needle has been moved towards. Two guys who everybody's going to be on because all of the major DFS sites are telling you to be on them. I want to stay with the field. I want to stay with you, so I'm going to go ahead and pick two of them guys, two that I kind of like. The next is going to be, I'm going to take two guys that the actual NBA gives me. And what I mean by the NBA giving me guys, whenever there's injuries or there's the coach's decisions, I pick two of those guys that I like. So that rounds out my 8-man roster. Four guys are who I am going to play, who I really like. That has nothing to do with anything anybody told me, just my core gut feeling. Two guys are going to come from everybody else. The ones that are going to be two chalky plays that everybody's going to be on, that you hear on all of the DFS sites, and the other two guys are going to be value plays, guys that are coming in, taking over for somebody for injury purposes, things like that, right? So today, let's go ahead and kick off the core four. Like I said, yesterday's core was really good. We're going to jump in today's core. I'm going to start it off with Dame Lillard. It's going to be a Dame game. He is my favorite play on the slate. Coming in at 9.3K, you're going to need him to get upwards of 50 in order to make value. I don't see that being a problem against Rajon Rondo defense, so you can lock Dame Lillard in all of your lineups. The next guy is going to be in the same game, and it's Jimmy Butler. I love Jimmy Butler. Somebody's going to have to score to keep pace with the Portland offense. He's the only guy that can do that and other things as well. He's going to be a really good rebounding, assist, a very good defensive guy. I think he can kind of slow McCollum down. That's who he's going to be checking. So I really do like and see, the thing about Jimmy Butler, McCollum sees a lot of usage. So if this guy's going to see a lot of usage, whoever's going to defend him is going to see a lot of defensive usage, and that's going to be Jimmy Butler. So I like him at that solid 8K price tag. You're going to need him to score over 40 in order to make the value that we're looking for. The next guy is going to be a play that you're going to scratch your heads about, but I love Michael Kidd-Gilchrist today. I love Michael Kidd-Gilchrist today. And the reason being is Minnesota plays a high pace. They miss a lot of shots. There's going to be a lot of rebounding opportunities for him. And with no clear-cut center, Cody Zeller is good, and I'm actually going to have him in a couple lineups. But there's no clear-cut, this is a bona fide beast center that the Charlotte Hornets have. And they struggle shooting away from home. Well, this Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is a really good defender, a really good on-the-ball defender, a really good glass cleaner. I mean, he's a fairly decent player, and coming in at that 4.9K salary, I mean, value for him is 25 points. I think he exceeds that a great deal tonight. So you can lock Michael Kidd-Gilchrist in your lineups. And my final core 4 play is going to be coming in at 6.1K. This is Brook Lopez coming off rest. You know, he didn't play in that blowout last night. They're going to want to have a good showing. This guy is from California, went to school at Stanford. So I really look for Brook Lopez to have a good game. He's going up against Timothy Mozgov. He's going to destroy Mozgov. He's going to have a really good game. I'm looking at a double-double with maybe a couple blocks and a couple steals if Mozgov is going to be handling the ball on the low block. The only concern I have is him tying up with Julius Randle. We know how active Julius Randle can be on the post, but that's why Trevor Booker is going to be there. So my 4 core plays tonight, these are 4 guys I'm starting every lineup with. They may all together not be in every lineup, but I'm starting every lineup with Dame Lillard, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Brook Lopez, and Jimmy Butler. So get them in there, get them in your lineups. This has been your DFS Jerusalem on the road, halfway back from DC after an awesome birthday weekend. Tomorrow we go back full tilt in the DFS sweatshop. Thank you, and y'all have a wonderful Tuesday and a very profitable one at that. Peace.